Today we're going to work on drawing realistic looking faces. And I'm going to show you step by step how to do that. And believe it or not, it's not as hard as it sounds. Okay, you can gather together some paper and whatever drawing materials that you have. One thing that you could use would be some chalk pastels like these. These are chalk pastels that are engraved. You could use colorful chalk pastels like I have in my box. You could use charcoal. This is the charcoal that I got from a very old, very cold fire. You have to make sure that it's safe. Have an adult help you. I know someone who got burnt because they didn't know that the coals were still hot. Even after the fire goes out, the coals can stay hot for a long time. So get adult help with that. Or you could use any assortment of other drawing materials, pencils, crayons. In fact, just a simple Crayola crayon, a black crayon would work just as well. And maybe not just as well, but it would still work very well. This is a nice pencil. It's a graphite pencil. It's just a big drawing pencil. And what I'm going to use is this stick of charcoal. It's a hard charcoal. Charcoals come in different densities. That means different hardnesses. Some are very, very soft, like this willow graphite or willow charcoal. It's made from vines. This is compressed into something that's very durable. And the reason I'm choosing it, I'm drawing inside, it doesn't make as much mess. If you're using the found charcoals, they're very soft, and like that one just fell apart in my hands. It'll fall apart as you use it, which is fine if you're outside, but don't make a mess inside. So get a piece of paper and we're gonna, all right, I'm going to show you how to do this step by step. And when I do, if you need a little more time, just pause it, all right? You'll need a regular piece of paper, and you can take and fold it in half like a hamburger. After you have done that, fold it in half like a hot dog. Then fold down to this center line. This is where the hamburger line is. Fold your paper down so that you get a line up above. Turn your paper over and do the same thing again. These lines you do not want to draw them. Do not draw them. They just help you to find the different parts of the face. Okay? So let's go ahead and begin. We're going to leave a little room at the top and a little room at the bottom for the top of the head and for the neck and stuff. So we're going to just go ahead and mark where you're going to start. So I'm going to start roughly here, and the face that I draw is going to end roughly right there. Okay? All right. Now we're going to draw an arch for the top of the head and an arch for the bottom of the head. You'll see that the top of the head is a little bit wider than at the bottom because we have chins. We all have slightly different shaped faces, but still you can see that this bottom is going to be a little smaller. So we're going to also leave margins on the side of the paper, like about there and about there. All right, so now we're going to draw the top of the head. Draw an arch. All right, and we'll draw the bottom. Kind of like a very shallow U. And then we'll connect the sides. I'm actually going a little in from my marks. you have some folds in your paper. I did not fold this big paper, but what you need to know is that if this is your paper, this is the top of your head, right? You drew an arch, you drew an arch, and then another one, and the sides. Now, believe it or not, you see this center part of the paper, the fold? That's where your eyes are going to go. So you can just draw an arch right there on one side of the center fold, leave a little room, and then on the other side, like that. Okay, I'm going to do that on this big one too. So about halfway from top to bottom, which is about here, I'm going to go slightly over, and I'll go slightly over to make those top arches for the eyes. Looks funny right now. The reason we leave such a big space is we need some room for forehead, but then we also need some room for the top of the hair. We oftentimes forget about that, but we need that. Okay, now we'll draw the bottom of the eye. Okay, I'll do that here in case you missed it. This way I'll go a little slower. Now, a lot of times what people want to do is they want to draw the eye like it has a complete circle on the inside of the eye. But if you look at a person's eye, you don't see that whole circle where the blue or the green or the brown is. For the eye, what you see is just part of it. So you draw it almost like parentheses right here. Parentheses, parentheses. And then put in the pupils. Draw in the pupils. And you can come back later and you can color it in, okay? I just drew little lines for the inside. So let me do this again on here. And I'll show you close up, like a wagon wheel. You can come back in and you can color it in later and it'll look better. Okay. All right, so now slightly above, and it's about halfway between this fold, about halfway between this fold and this fold, you're gonna put the eyebrows. And remember, they're not identical on both sides. And let's not draw them as a straight line like that. Let's draw them more like lots of little lines like hairs. More like that. See how it's just lots of little lines? And we'll do that on the other side too. Okay, while you're doing that, I'll get this side. This one. Okay. All right. Now, we're still missing some things, so we're going to get to that. At slightly above this fold here, we're going to put the bottom of the nose. We'll just make a couple little curved lines like that. And then a curved line like a parenthesis on the side for the side of the nose. Okay? And then you just make a suggestion right up there for the side of the nose, for the long part of the nose. I'll do that on this one. Let's see. Oh my. All right, that gives us a suggestion of the nose. Looks like mine is a little crooked. That's okay. Okay. Then on this line right here, this bottom fold, this fold right here that goes across, that is where we're going to put the mouth, and we'll draw the top line for the top lip first, and it'll curve up and then back down. So like up and down like that. And then you do the same thing on the other side of this vertical centerfold. Okay. Like that. Okay, once we've done that, we can draw the bottom of the mouth. It'll go down and across and back up, a little bit curvy. Depends on the expression of the mouth. So like that. This top lip is going to be darker than the bottom lip. Felt like be transparent here. I felt like I kind of messed up that top lip. I made it too narrow, too little. So I made it a little bit longer, but then it looked a little bit funny. So then I felt like I had to color it in a little bit. If you just keep working away at art, usually you can fix those problems. Sometimes what we feel like doing is saying, oh no, I messed it up, and throw the whole thing away. That's not a good choice, because it's best to finish what you start. You never know, you can probably fix it and make it something really nice, but it takes working at it. Okay, so we're going to keep working at this, and right now I think this probably looks a little bit better than this one, but that's just because I colored it, and we can work on that later. All right, so for right now, there's obviously some things we are still missing. We need to give her some ears and a neck and hair, and then I'll show you how to shade things in, which is really pretty cool and helps a lot. Okay, so the ears start about the same line as the eye, and believe it or not, they come down about to where the nose is. If you look at a person, you'll see bottom of my ear is about where my nose is, top of my ear is about where my eye is. So let's go ahead and do that to our person. And it's just a curvy line. Now let me show you how I did that again. Whoops. Curve up, curve in, almost like a question mark right there. See how that's kind of like a question mark? And then out and in. Okay, let's try that again over here. We're going to go about even with the eyes. So you start right here. We're going to be ending about even with the nose. So we'll end right about there. See where you're starting and stopping? That helps. Okay, now we curve up and back in, kind of like a backwards question mark at this point. And we curve in and out and back in. And that's our ear. And then we can give it a little whoop, squiggle in the middle to show the inside of the ear. Okay, good. Now we keep going. Our person needs some hair. Should I show you on this one too? Okay. All right, we go up to, well, go up about that center fold right there. Curve around, back down, about ending about where the nose is. See that? That needs a little more help, doesn't it? So the inside one. The inside one's almost just a copy of what you did on the outside. And there we go. There's an ear for the outside. See, it's kind of like a question mark. Curve out, curve back under. And do the same thing, only littler on the inside. Just a curvy line there. Okay. All right, we have some beautiful bald people. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give them some hair. And let's do that. This one, I think I like drawing curly hair, like I said. And what you can do is just doot shows curly hair, but so does the loopy. We add a neck. That's going to make a big difference. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, I'm going to switch to a softer chalk pastel. It will smudge better. This other one didn't smudge very well. Okay, so when you have a softer chalk pastel or a softer charcoal, it smudges better. If you're using crayon, what you can do is you can use the edge of your crayon and like that. Okay, so there's a few places that need a little bit of shadow in order to make her look better. One of them is to add some shadow up here, like if you were wearing eyeshadow. When a girl or a lady wears eyeshadow, we'll put it up there. The sun will cast a shadow underneath our noses and underneath our bottom lip. So it's a good idea to put a little shadow there. Of course, we'll have some shadow here because of the cheekbones and off on the side of the head too. Okay. And then same thing here. What I'm doing is I'm just getting a little bit of this from my finger, rubbing it on my finger, and then it makes a big mess. And I can rub it on here better. I can also kind of take it from in here. Okay. Maybe a little out here, here. And then of course we're going to need some underneath the chin. Okay, now, a lot of times we think of the white of the eye as being very just white, but see how dirty your hands can get? But there will be some in there too, because the eyeball is round like a sphere. It's ball shaped, so you need a little bit in here to show the roundness on the outside there.